Oh! Here's someone in something in the distance. Is somebody gonna come aboard because maybe they're important to me, like Chie or Ko or something? Yes? What? What happened? Seems that you've been sleeping until now. I'm guessing this is different depending on what you've been doing in the game. I just hope it's like Chie. I don't know. I'm hoping. Because, like, what else would it be? Or maybe it's like, is that a spoiler? I don't know. There's this one game where you're at an inn and somebody will come to your door and you can say yes to them and then you'll bond with them forever. But even if they're not the most that's if they're the most bonded with you, they'll come to you first. You could say no to them though, and then the second most bonded will come to you, and then you could say bonded with them forever. If you say no to them, you get the chance to do it with the third most bonded. If you say no to them, they force you into bonding with a certain somebody. I'm guessing if you haven't played the game I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have played, you know what I'm talking about. Is it going to be like that? Or is it just going to... Because, like, how are else are they going to do it if I've, like, maxed everybody, a few people out and gone all the way? I don't know. Are they going to go whoever went first? Because if that's the case, it's Chie. You hear the doorbell ringing. Someone seems to be at the door. Please be Chie. I did her first. No! What?
Teddy's missing.
No! No! Why are you here? No! 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 Okay, so I guess this isn't plot relevant at all? Okay, it is plot relevant, but I thought they were about to make this big impactful thing like, this is the course you're going on. Not, oh, we're doing more plot, because isn't that the direction that we're going in? And what happened to recap? We didn't recap anything. I don't know.
I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
I'm not sure what to say here. Oh, we didn't find the note from him, did we? In the other timeline, in the bad ending, there was a note, so I guess he never got the chance to write the note. Okay. So I don't think that happened in the other timeline. I don't want to say I'm worried. I want to hang out with people. I don't want to go on crazy adventures already again. We just did that, didn't we? I guess I'm worried. It's the right thing to say, even though I don't want to.
Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side.
He's at the side in between, it seems like. I think that's what we were getting at. The background in the Velvet Room looks similar to Teddy's. Is it going to be Teddy who showed up in my room? I hope not.
We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Junes?
Is this a question? Do I get a choice? Nope. In any case, you said to go look for him. Aww. I want to get, like, branching stuff and stuff and socialing stuff. They're giving me plot stuff. I just got some pretty heavy plot. Oh, well.
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
Oh, well, let's give up for now.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings.
Oh, no. Maybe you need some better glasses.
I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, you tried your best, I'm sure.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
It's his choice. Although it is a shame if he still thinks Nanako's dead, because it's not, and we should tell him the truth. You recall the mysterious dream you had last night, even though it didn't matter much. Oh, is this going to be when the decision is made? Like, Chie, bone me right now. Maybe? I don't know. It's maybe a time for contemplation rather than action. That is what Igor said, but... So can I what? Contemplation rather than action. Okay, neither of these are about action. He'll be back for sure. Let's think about this. Contemplation. No use getting worked up. Let's think about this.
I guess that's all we can do right now.
That is contemplation, after all, thinking.
He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
He would if maybe he was heartbroken, although he didn't in the bad ending, but we don't know that.
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now we must concentrate on the case.
Okay.
It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location.
Are you aware of where that's gonna be, or are you not in the know?
We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
So when are we doing it? Like now? I mean...
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
What?
Let's quickly review the facts.
Sure.
Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano the announcer, and Saki-san.
Yep.
From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them.
This is also true.
After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted.
Yes.
It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
Technically, we never actually saw him do it. All we know is that he was in the car, we assumed Nanako was there, then there was a crash, then the next thing we was in the TV world. We never actually saw him take her in there.
Want to hear you put it like that? Sounds like the dude's guilty.
Isn't that what we've been thinking? That doesn't sound very weird to me. Aren't we looking for weird?
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
It's gotta make him feel pretty shitty.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer?
Do you have one?
That's what's bothering me.
Oh?
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
Probably both. Well, maybe not completely nuts, but only mostly nuts? Peanuts.
You lost me.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to think too hard on this. We have enough thinkers in the group. Me, and Chie, and Naoto, and Rise, and Yukiko, and the dog, and... Well, that's enough.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
There definitely are. Also, where is the dog? He's a part of the group just as much as anyone.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
Also, I apologize for calling him a dog. I just remembered I believe he's a fox. I'm sorry, Mr. Inaba. Wasn't that what I was calling him for a while? Inaba? But, because they don't give him a name. They don't let you name him either. It'd been cool if you could name him.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
There's some doubt.
Could he mean saving them through death?
There's also that.
He did call himself a savior, and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
Believes in heaven?
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself. What do you think, Senpai?
Maybe it was him. There's something else.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
Indeed.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while.
And what is that?
When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too."
Indeed. So... I don't know, maybe it has to do with them fighting themselves? But did he not expect them to get killed on the other side? Or maybe that wasn't part of his plan? I don't know. I'll let them explain.
So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too?
Yeah, I don't think it's just the killing. I think that's something that can happen. I don't know if that's his doing or not, but I don't think it has to do specifically with the killing.
Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense.
Indeed.
And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Oh, maybe because she never fought, her shadow. We all fought our shadows. Accepted who we were. Or maybe the others died trying, I don't know. But Nanako's shadow never came out. So maybe that's what he meant by failing to save her. She never confronted her shadow.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
And you're still more useful than Yosuke. There's some merit to that. We don't know for sure he's the one who killed the first 2 victims. It's possible they were killed, then he realized something was going on. I think I even mentioned this earlier, I believe. And then that's why he started throwing people in the TV, because that would somehow save them, maybe? And maybe the shadows would never kill them in the first place. We just thought they would because we heard the 2 other people died. Possibly.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right?
Is he really?
Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them.
Technically it was the shadows, but is it really? Was it their shadows?
Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
Possibility of the culprit besides Namatame. Could there be something that proves this possibility? I'm not sure. I don't know who it would be, but I'm very intrigued because of that. Namatame's diary. The copycat murderer. The warning letter. The warning letter! Misuzu Hiragi's alibi? That has nothing to do with it. The copycat murder. It's the warning letter! Because I remember that was really weird. Because there was a letter that was sent to me that said, stop getting in my way, right? But Namatame said he successfully saved us, right? And then when he said, stop getting in my way, if you don't stop, I'll go after someone who's close to you. Yet Nanako is clearly one of the closest people to me, and they went after them before the warning even happened. I mean, before I even got a chance to, you know, agree to what the warning was saying. So yeah, it's the warning letter. That's what's weird.
Warning letter? Oh yeah! Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was him. Okay, intriguing her and intriguing her.
Let's review them.
Yep. Good idea. You recall that the first warning letter said, don't rescue anymore. And the second one said, if you don't stop this time, someone close will be put in and killed. Wait a second, what if these were meant for Namatame? If you don't stop this time, someone close will be put in and killed. It's possible they were meant for Namatame? But why did they end up with me if they were meant for Namatame? I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, that's right.
Also, that's the weird part. If you don't stop this time, but if this time is Nanako, how much closer do you get to me than Nanako?
Isn't that kind of odd?
What if this all started by Namatame saving people? And then what if... Okay, what if the killer, whoever this real killer is, killed... Because Namatame is close to the first victim, right? Maybe they are meant for Namatame. And Namatame was saving people before the game even started. Like, he was the original hero before us. And then this person found out that he was saving people, and he was like, hey, Namatame, stop this shit. Because the Midnight Channel's been going on for a little while before we started the game, right? There was a rumor going on before that, right? So, yeah, maybe Namatame was saving people. This guy found out, was like, okay, you're pissing me off. So he decided to throw in, you know, the first victim. I can't remember her name, but she was close to Namatame, and that killed her, and that devastated him. And he also failed to save Saki. So yeah, and then maybe from there, that's when we got involved? Maybe when we were actually saving everybody who was inside the TV, maybe either A, Namatame was gonna do that and we got to them first, or B, he was like part of the plan and we were part of the plan, and I'm not sure. Yeah.
Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, don't rescue or kill?
Yeah, and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like, I'll put in and kill?
Hey, could this mean...
There's a mastermind. I knew there had to be more to do than this. Namatame wrote it wrong. The letter wasn't for me. Namatame didn't write it. I feel like either of the last two could be right. Like, that's my theory. The letter was for Namatame. But I want to say that, because that's my gut answer. Namatame didn't write it. I think that's also true, but, yeah.
Hello? Wasn't your name on the envelope? It's not that there's something wrong with the letter, it's more like someone else wrote it.
Aww. I mean, what if someone else wrote it and it was meant for Namatame? Doesn't that make some sense? I don't know, maybe. Maybe he just used the same letters. Like, he gave those letters originally to Namatame, and then was like, oh, now this brat's causing me trouble. Why write new ones? Give him the same ones.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right?
Indeed.
If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dun dun dun.
Dear God.
What, you hadn't considered the possibility?
Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So, Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Possibly?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed.
How so?
In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first 2 cases when the victims died.
Alright.
If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did.
Alright.
It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Okay.
Someone else? Then... it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
Yeah.
We can't say for certain yet.
Seems likely.
We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
Let us do that then. I'm still calling the fact that we're gonna get a social link with him. I'm very certain of it. I thought it was gonna be Judgment. That would have made so much sense, but I guess not. You all work together to take another step toward the truth. Oh, level 2. Yeah, they're gonna be giving this to us really fast because I'm pretty sure at this point we're past halfway through. So. Level 2. So here's the truth. Power to create personas, the Judgment Arcana has grown.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
Well, we have an in, right? I think. Maybe.
I have a plan.
Okay, we don't have to do undercover crap, do we? Can't we just talk to Dojima? Isn't he in on this stuff now? I still would like to know. How much do they know? Do they know all of it, or do they still unaware? Because they should know all of it by now. At least Dojima.
But there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Please don't tell me we're gonna, like, try to trick a bunch of people. I hope not. At least let Dojima in on it. I mean, really. Maybe he's in no condition, but we could at least, I don't know. Like, let him be part of the team.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police.
That is kind of true.
I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
And how am I gonna get in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID.
Please don't knock him out. Okay, no, that'd be dumb. They wouldn't do that, would they?
Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh?
What, huh?
Ah. Understood. I see.
I'm confused.
Well, you're on the list.
Was this the plan? This isn't much of a plan.
I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes.
Sure.
Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
Maybe we can try to ungibberify him.
I'd like him to accompany me as well.
No, just me, because I'm the main character.
He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
First of all, isn't it Steed? Second of all, does Dojima know about this? I mean, I hope he does. He should be in on this. I don't know.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
Probably because it's not true.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Yeah, you haven't been very, vouch-worthy as of late. I mean, to be fair, you've always liked doing things kind of on your own, haven't you?
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself.
No, you don't like Dojima? You take that back. He's a wonderful person.
We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too.
Oh yeah, because Adachi's so important.
This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
I was expecting something a lot more devious.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Oh god, is this part of their devious plan? Please don't let them be super devious.
Well then, this works out nicely.
What does?
You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san.
And then everybody else is gonna come into the room with us? I mean,
A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Understood. Please be careful.
It just feels like we're being devious when I don't feel like we really need to be devious. Like, we have an in.
I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
And there's the guys and girls.
Wow! There's nothing much inside that suspicious object,
What object?
so he won't be gone long.
Well, can we learn what the object is? Is this gonna be one of those things where the game's just like, oh, now they're smart, just assume she had a good plan? Because that seems a bit silly.
Alright, then now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
Alright.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you.
Did you have anything to do with Saki and What's-Your-Face?
It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case.
You're making it pretty easy for us to do that, but...
And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are.
After all, when you catch a killer, you just hope... Sometimes it's kind of mean-spirited, but you hope that they are the killer so you don't have to worry about it anymore, but that's the wrong way to think about it.
But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Huh?
Seems that he understands what you're saying. What should you ask him? Oh god. Who did you throw in first? Did you kill those two girls? Is saving killing people? Did you kill those two girls? I don't like the way any of these questions are worded. I'd be more gentle. Is saving killing people? No. Who'd you throw in first? That's too much to the point. Did you kill those two girls?
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
What'd you ask him? Who'd you throw in first? Is saving,
Huh? Me?
Indeed. Okay, so he had nothing to do with the first two. So throwing them in is saving them, not killing them. So the shadows are kind of a byproduct of it, but maybe the shadows, yeah, like I said, never would kill them. The other two were different. Don't you feel special? Saving killing people.
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed.
And you want to avoid that.
That's why I put them in there.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far.
Alright.
After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi.
How did he learn about the Midnight, like, going inside there in the first place?
You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place.
Okay, so... what if the Midnight Channel... What if it's, like, what if the realm Teddy's in is the place where people die then? Like, what if they were meant to be sucked into a different realm and they would be being sucked into the wrong realm? Possibly? Like, yeah, they'll be thrown into the TV, but maybe they're being thrown into the wrong place. I don't know, maybe.
His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Seems like it.
Indulge us in a few more questions.
Why don't you ask him? Who killed the first two? Why the warning letters? Why did you enter the TV?
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
Yeah, because you actually cared about her even if you were divorced. After all, she was the one who broke up with you. You still liked her. You ask him. Why did you enter the TV?
I didn't know.
You didn't realize you were entering it?
I never thought it would be that kind of place.
Nah, that didn't tell us much. Why the warning letters?
What are you talking about?
You seem very coherent all of a sudden. It seems very weird.
As I thought.
I mean, I understand that, you know, we want to try to get through to him, so we're being simple with him. But it feels like he's gotten very coherent all of a sudden. Like, is there a trigger for that? Or, all along, would he be okay if we just were gentler with him? I don't know. Feels a bit weird.
You... believe me?
Now that you're actually being coherent.
Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things?
Not yet. People think it's you.
Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you.
Can you join our party? Bonus party member. You can replace Teddy while Teddy's gone.
We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Well, what about others, like Dojima and stuff? I mean, how much do they know? So do they not know all of it? I really would like to know how much they know, because the game has not been clear.
Only... you?
Could have been more if we were more people, but we're not people. We're us people.
We did blame you for everything at first.
Because we're kind of dumb, especially Yosuke. Blame it on Yosuke.
But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please. Tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
Yes, please.
You willing to listen? Do my story?
I really don't have time for a story, but I am interested. I'm gonna have to stop part with you and get back to this place again. Darn it.
All right. Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge,
You became a drinker.
I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal.
Oh well, do what you say. We make mistakes. I'm making similar mistakes. I got my own harem to deal with.
And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you?
That's a new look.
She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything.
But then?
Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me.
What rumor?
Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection.
The Midnight Channel. When did this start being a thing? Because, like, if it's been a thing for a long time, then people might have been dying long before those first two. Possibly. And the whole TV thing started with you. Maybe. Yet there were still TV aspects of those first 2 victims. We found them when we went into the TV world. We were investigating them. We investigated Saki's, and we did briefly investigate the other one as well. So, maybe that's somehow a reflection of the third world, maybe?
And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help.
And you stuck your arm in and just went through? Because you're like me and somehow had a persona without even needing to do any fighting? Hopefully they give a reason for that, including myself, but we'll see.
Mayumi? Mayumi!
Okay, interesting. So I think he's like me. He just had the power from the get-go for some reason.
When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her.
Bum bum ba. You see? You show that to anyone, they're not gonna be laughing at your story for long. You can easily prove things to people, but nah.
My arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water.
That bridge has sailed.
I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV.
Ain't that a funny story? Only on Wednesdays.
I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane.
Most people probably assumed you did, including us for a while.
In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work.
But it wasn't a dream.
The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though.
Oh, it was the news of Mayumi's death?
It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown. Okay,
so letters were meant for me. It just seemed like they might have been meant for Namatame, the way they were worded. They could have been Awa. Namatame is casting his eyes downward painfully. I can see that.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remembered the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi?
I don't think SOS is quite the right term, but something similar maybe.
I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again. And I confirmed that none of it was a dream.
Unless you were dreaming then too, and you've been dreaming every time since. You're crazy!
So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
As did we.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program.
The Midnight Channel? Funny.
I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend.
Maybe that's why she wound up being the first victim. Maybe she was looking too deep into whatever this Midnight Channel was, and then whoever was doing the killings had to kill her, although maybe originally she wasn't maybe the killer wasn't planning on killing people, they were doing something else with the channel, and she got too close, and so he killed her, and maybe Saki was supposed to be a witness, and then he had to kill her too, maybe? Maybe.
But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions.
But you had an alibi.
I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi.
Really? I've never really gotten the whole calling for help thing. Not the calling for help vibe. It just seems like they're kind of there, but to each their own.
The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did.
So why did you fail with her?
So I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her.
But you didn't actually act on it, and before you knew it was too late? So next time you decided to be, like, really direct?
Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
This also explains why we see the person on the screen before they get thrown into the TV. Because Namatame had to actually see them on the screen first before he could do the throw. If he didn't, then he would have had no way. Because we were wondering for a while, like, why do they not appear until after? Why is it before? But it had to be before.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job with the family business.
Yeah, I've been talking to you a bit around town, actually.
I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store.
Uh-huh. So that's the family business.
After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful.
Okay.
But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain.
Was that like the sight of her death or something?
That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone?
Alright. Okay, I will point out this, though. It's a lot easier to understand why a certain character would not be willing to necessarily go to the police with this information or something, and I feel like I can get it with Namatame. I get it with him. It's just when a whole group of people, like our group, not even one person's like, maybe no one. That's why it bugged me for so long. I mean, you all know this already, but this is actually a good thing, I'm saying. I can buy Namatame not going to them. That makes sense, but
Come on! Please! The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done.
Could have told the police, but you did find a better way, actually. Arguably better. Because even if you told the police, they might not have been able to do anything about it. But throwing the TV seems to have worked pretty well.
There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work. Not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was.
And you kind of cheated on her. Oops.
But she was murdered. And the same person killed another girl.
Alright.
I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
She broke up with him. I mean, I think it would make sense. I mean, I don't want to get too much into the whole idea of cheating and still liking the other one, but sometimes it's true that, I mean, you cheat on someone, and, I mean, they're completely in the right to hate you for it, but you can still like them. Like, sometimes people need a break from each other. Now, that's not necessarily the right way to go about it, but just because you cheat on someone doesn't mean you don't have feelings for them anymore.
Yes. From the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel bad for him. I like him. He's one of my new favorite I feel bad fors, because with Dojima, I wanted Dojima to go crazy on me, to get a little mad at me, and he never did, so he's my new favorite grounded character.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election.
Oh, Mayumi was the one who you cheated on with... Okay, I'm confused. I thought you were married to Mayumi. Okay, I got everything mixed up.
She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her.
I see.
She gave meaning to my life.
Still should have broke up with the other girl first, but hey.
Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV.
And this time it was Yukiko. I guess only one guy has appeared so far, and that would be Kanji.
That was you.
I'm liking this. I'm really liking this Namatame story. I like it.
She'll be kidnapped next. And murdered.
I also like the fact that, even though this story is making sense, it's not something you're necessarily going to see coming. I predicted there'd be a bigger, larger thing, and that maybe Namatame was somehow a good guy. I got that, but, it's still, if you considered Namatame the killer, it all added up. It wasn't like there was any big missing piece. The main reason I thought it didn't make sense, well, there's the letter, but also just because it seemed too easy. But other than that, everything adds up. It's not like there was an obvious missing piece that you needed this story to fill in. But the fact that this story, the fact that it made sense, and yet it's there's still a story and it's going to make sense this way too, that's really nice. It's not always easy to pull that off. I'll give them props for that.
I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that.
At least bring up the possibility of the police, though.
I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then?
Yeah, and of course, if he goes to the police, they're currently suspecting him for the murder. They don't want to give him even more reason to suspect him. See, he makes sense.
The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me.
He actually has legitimate reason to not want to go to the police. They're suspecting him right now. But, eh.
And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side.
But does the killer?
Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her?
Here's the question, though. Then do shadows kill them? Like, that's, like, we've never found out. We've always come in and stopped before it happens. So, would the shadows even kill them? We don't know now. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I was about to say, I brought up a theory a long time ago, maybe only people over, under a certain age can go in, and, but then the thing with the older, Mayumi kind of breaks that. I was like, wait, that when this happens, like, wait, no, Mayumi never went in, so it makes sense. But like, no, Namatame went in, so I'm like, I'm going back and forth in my mind, but,
What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again.
I feel like that's kind of in your imagination.
And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calmed down, I could just let her out again.
Yeah, but instead we got there first.
If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her.
That does make sense, assuming, you know, they're like us, which it seems like they're, no, if they're not like us, but it seems like they are like us. Whoever the killer is probably knows what's going on. Or do they? If they did, wouldn't they go in and try to actually do the killing? But they're also a weird kind of killer, because the Midnight Channel relates to them, clearly. So, who can say?
It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people?
I still hope they give a reason for why he can do it right away, and why he, I'm guessing, already has a persona, including me, at some point. But for now, I'll just let the game play out.
But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably.
You could always show them that you can stick your hand to the TV and it's funky, but they still wouldn't necessarily believe you. They would just think, what the heck? And they'd probably run away. They'd probably be afraid. So, that is truth. I mean, you're just some sketchy stranger. It'd be a different story if, let's say, I had an uncle named Dojima and I wanted to prove something to him. He'd probably believe me if I showed him. You know, as opposed to your situation, which is very different. But hey, I said I wouldn't harp on it anymore, but now that I'm seeing good aspects, like aspects similar to the other ones that are actually being done well here, I can't help but compare to the early aspects how they were not done as well. It's a weird kind of thing. Like, I'm complimenting it, but in doing that, I'm also bringing up the negative feelings from earlier, so I don't know.
It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought. Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
Why or so I thought? Can you not go in anymore? Why or so I thought?
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
Yep. I don't know how long ago I started theorizing something like that, but something like that's been on my mind for a long time, I know that. Once I get through with editing my videos, I'll remember when it was that I started up that theory.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
Who are you talking to? Namatame? He's the smartest one of all of us.
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me.
You see? He tried! He tried! We didn't try! And they would just think it's very sketchy if he showed him that he could stick his hand or whatever. I have an in. I have Dojima. He doesn't have an in. And they already suspected it. So he'd be putting himself under more pressure. He has legit reasons for not telling them. Or hey, he did try. We, on the other hand, don't as much, but I've already been over that.
I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion.
I like him.
I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
Well, it's hard to say, because the Shadows were fighting against them in the other world. We've never... If it's true that you didn't kill the other two, we have no way of knowing if the Shadows will actually go so far as to kill them. We don't know. Granted, when you get to a certain point in the game, there's a game over, so maybe that does happen. Like, if you go so far without saving someone, eventually the game gets game over, but I don't know if that's because the Shadow kills them, or if it's because the game doesn't want you to know that this is what's going on, and so it's keeping you from going any further, but whatever.
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die.
Proof! Where's the proof? That's never happened as far as we know. We have no proof of that. We don't know for sure. It hasn't happened yet, not once.
Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril.
Were they really? Where's the proof? Again, as far as we know, the first two victims died in other ways. They had nothing to... We don't know if they had anything to do with being killed by the Shadows. For all we know, the Shadows wouldn't actually go as far as to kill them. Maybe mentally torment them, sure, but we don't know if they'd actually kill them. We have no way of knowing now.
It was my friends here who really saved us all.
No, you're giving him too much hate. I like Namatame. I understand what he did, and he had no way of knowing. Also, for all we know, the Shadows wouldn't have killed them. We don't know.
I had a feeling that was it.
Also, he definitely helped. You can't say he didn't. After all, the first two people did die. And hell, if they were never thrown to the TV, what were we gonna do? We were just stupid kids. Our only good power is the fact that we go into the TV and be awesome. Granted, anyone could potentially do that, which is one of my issues with this game, but we kept it to ourselves, so it had to be us. If that never happened, if they were never thrown in the TV, they would have probably just died anyway. So don't harp on Namatame. You should be like, yeah, you helped a lot. Maybe you didn't know the whole story, but you helped.
When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
Oh, really? Did you see Nanako's shadow showing up?
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
Aha.
The police were after me, so I had to get away.
Indeed.
But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl.
Thanks, man. You saved Nanakurs. I like you.
That's why I went in after her.
Indeed.
But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place.
You thought it was filled with sunshine and sparkles.
I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was.
There you go again. Yeah, they weren't dying. Because we were saving them, but he didn't know that. So, I mean, you can't harp on him. I feel so bad for him. And of course, because we have the disease of not wanting to tell anyone ever about anything, there's no way he could have found out. Similar to my issue with how, like, Naoto threw herself in because we never told her, and among other things, but the game's never gonna make us regret not telling people, because that's just this game, but it still bugs me.
I never knew. You couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No. That's a cowardly way to put it.
No. You're the most, coolest of all of us.
I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
Gone to see us all?
See us?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Junes?
My memory's vague. Was he there?
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered.
I see.
But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty.
I feel so bad for him. I love you, Namatama. You're great.
But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself.
I see.
I thought I was going insane. I probably did.
Yeah, you were pretty crazy for a little while there.
And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
You really were trying to save people.
Just like you, Naoto. Just like, you didn't know the full story, so you did what you had to do. What you thought was right.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool.
Don't call yourself a fool. If you're gonna blame anyone, blame us. Because we're the bigger fools. You're not nearly as much of a fool as all of us. Don't think that. You're great. I like you.
I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power.
Uh-huh.
I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
That's similar to Yosuke's plot. You're a Yosuke. No, I'm just kidding. You're not. You're way cooler than Yosuke. I'm sorry. I should never have joked about that. Haha! He remembers.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
No, you're not. You've saved every single one of us. Maybe we had to do some extra bit to, finish the job, stop the shadows from killing them, if that even happens. But if it wasn't for you throwing them in the first place, who knows? They probably would have died. It's still unforgivable? What, are we talking about what Namatame did? Are you crazy? What's done is done. Are you crazy, game? He saved everybody. He did. You can't say he didn't. It's a fact that because of him, we're all still alive. What's done is done.
I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that.
No, the things we've done are too serious to be brushed aside, and yet they have been brushed aside. So yours definitely deserve to be brushed aside.
I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences.
What? Okay, yes, kidnapping, but you saved them. It's true, and you didn't know the full story. Like, no. You're definitely less guilty than we are. That's for sure.
Kidnapping is already a serious crime, and on top of that, I put all those lives in danger.
And we kept valuable information from the police, which is also a crime, and yet we're not getting punished for that.
I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly.
Yep, because we don't tell anyone anything.
We must apologize to you as well.
Yes! Yes, you must! Thank you. Thank you so much. We never tell anybody anything, which is why all this shit happens. You know how, man, that trope, poor communication kills? That's this game pretty much in a nutshell.
Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
Yep.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people.
Exactly.
The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
Yep.
I'm such a joke.
No, you're no Yosuke. You're better than that. Yosuke's a Yosuke.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
That's understandable. You need your rest. As long as you don't try running away into the TV, which now that I understand him, I don't think he would. But to be fair, he could be putting this all on as an act, so we definitely should not be keeping him in a room with a TV. I mean, that's still a bad thing. Why is that here? This is...
What are you all crammed in here for?
Hey, look, a flying cat! Run! Oh.
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait.
Also, are they gonna brush that aside too? Are there not any charges for that? Because they clearly, you know, broke some kind of law.
I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
I still want us to get some kind of comeuppance, but... And I understand from his point of view, like, I can't be mad at him for being that way. Similar to how I can't really be mad at Dojima for not getting mad at me, because it is the more responsible thing to do. Because it's not really my fault, but it is our fault, in a way. No one's bringing it up at all, that in a way it is our fault, which is what really bugs me, but... I don't know, I like Namatame a lot, so, you know, I won't turn you down. That's our plan. It's been our dumb plan from the beginning. Do everything ourselves, let no one else help.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders.
Yep.
It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV. Indeed.
Now we must find out who that is. Who could it be, though? Like, I remember thinking this originally, like, who could the killer be before it was revealed, oh, it's Namatame. And then that kind of came out of nowhere, but this time, I'm guessing they're building up to something. Is it me? Because we still haven't learned how I even gained those powers. We don't know how Namatame did either, but... I mean, I'm a wild card, right? So, and we've never seen my shadow. Maybe it's my shadow. I had that theory so long ago, maybe it's true. Because other than that, who's left? I mean, to be fair, Namatame was a very unimportant character at first. Maybe there's some other unimportant character I'm not thinking about. Oh, Seekers of Truth level 3. Yeah, this is going by quick. Gosh. There's still like a third left of the game as far as months go, though, right? There's all of December, all of January, all of December, all of January, all of February, all of March, and there's still quite a bit of April because we started at like April 20th or 21st, right? 420 blaze it. So yeah, there's still quite a bit for us to do. There's more than a third even. So yeah. Power to create personas of the Justice Arcane has grown.
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. I better not see you rascals here again.
Oh, you crazy kids. And your dumb fox too. Hey! Ruff, ruff! That's right! No.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
Yeah.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
For all he knows, we found the real killer. He doesn't know.
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out.
Are you fucking shitting me? Dojima! Why can you not tell Dojima? We can get the police's help. I thought this was done. I thought, like, they know now. Dojima knows. I don't know how much Adachi knows, but Dojima knows, right? Of course we can get them to help. We can get them to reopen it. We don't need to do this all on ourselves anymore. I thought I was done getting mad at this, but apparently I'm not. This is just going to continue to be an issue.
Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents, and see if we can turn up fresh details.
They were starting to actually make sense with that Namatame story. They were giving some sense, and now they're back to the nonsense.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on.
But we don't have to be. I can't believe I have to do this again. I shouldn't. I don't want to, but They're giving me more reason to. Like, I thought we were past this. The police know now, right? They know, so they can help. At least Ojima knows. And maybe maybe we shouldn't let the whole public know, but like, we can let some of the higher-ups know, and they can help us coordinate this. Like, but no. We have to keep doing this because we're the main characters, and I don't like it.
And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow.
I can't help but being mad at this. I'm gonna try to put it aside, but it's not easy.
We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Mm-hmm. My two least favorite things coming together. Teddy and suspension of disbelief being broken. Tomorrow you'll all be going out to talk to people in town. Great. Will this finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit? You decided to go home early today and get some rest. Dojima is police. Does he not know? Like, how much does he... I don't... Fucking chicken fingers! I thought I was done complaining about this. Why are they giving me more to complain about? I thought the police know now. Dojima knows. Adachi kind of knows. Why are we not fully telling them? Also, yes, I noticed this. Neat. But, fucking why? Can I go outside and do things? Yeah, I didn't think so. Why? Why? Whatever. I'm not gonna harp on it. If they're not gonna fix it, they're not gonna fix it. Nothing I say will change that. It's just dumb.